So Nikola Jokic, once again, the most expensive player on the slate at $12,500, but he's a little banged up, right? The big man is dealing with right toe soreness. I'm sorry, toe soreness.
Yeah.
It just always, I know it's real.
Have you ever stubbed your toe? Have you ever had turf toe?
I
Like it's legit.
understand
Like
that
I
it's
could
legit,
barely walk,
but
I
it
still
just
come to
always
work.
makes me laugh when I have to say that. Toe soreness, and it's questionable tonight against Minnesota. So chase or fade, you should be staying away from the reigning MVP tonight, even if he suits up because of toe soreness. Garion?
Fade that you should stay away from him. Chase that Nikola Jokic being out due to toe soreness would be hilarious, considering all we've had to find out about Nikola Jokic and his family and his upbringing since the Morris twin episode. Look, I think we start most of these slates with a couple questions. Question 1, is Denver playing? If the answer to that is yes, question 2, is Nikola Jokic breathing? And if the answer to that question is also yes, you have to consider Nikola Jokic viable. I mean, you go back to January 15th, I know I keep saying numbers like this, but they keep getting better. 1.87 DraftKings points per minute played. We just saw this guy post over 60 DraftKings points in less than 29 minutes the last time the Nuggets took the court. If he's active tonight, and thankfully this isn't like the latest game on the slate, we'll probably find out the status of Jokic well before tip-off for the 7 p.m. games. You just have to play him because the other factor here is Minnesota might be the best possible matchup someone like Jokic could draw. Not only are they a terrible defensive team, 24th in defensive rating for the season, they are second in pace across their last 10 games. So you're just giving Jokic more possessions to be the most efficient player in the NBA. So that level of efficiency, that level of volume, you just can't ignore it.
Nick, you agree he's breathing, his toes attached to his body? You got to consider him.
I mean, there are some slates where even if he's not breathing, I would consider throwing him out there. I mean, luckily we do have 7 games on the slate tonight, which is a little bigger than most Tuesday slates. So if you don't want to go with Jokic, I mean, you have plenty of other options. You have Giannis, you have Towns, you have Vucevic, even Siakam, Valanciunas, Adebayo. All those guys are above 8K at center. So, if the toe situation scares you off, I don't know what happened there. Maybe he did stub it. Maybe like a horse stepped on it or something. I have no idea. But chances are, like Garion implied, Jokic is going to play through this. I mean, he's, for a guy who's had so many questions about like his body over the years, like that's completely faded away. I mean, for DFS, we don't really talk about, how much it means to be an Iron Man, but I think that's the most underrated thing about Jokic, in his rise as a superstar, is he misses fewer games than just about anybody. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And, a lot of guys, when you have like a ticky-tack injury like this, if it's Embiid or, even Giannis has kind of gotten to this point, you're like, I don't know if he's going to play. We see questionable with Jokic, and it essentially just means nothing. He's probably going to play through this, and if he does, I'm with Garion. I mean, you really, I don't know what his price would have to be at this point where it would get to the point where you'd say, no, I'm 100% sure it's not worth it with him.